Hey guys, welcome to a tea time show. We're with Princess Leia today, which is awesome. Today's show is just an answer to a question by a friend of mine, Giles, who was asking me about email and email spam filters and how do I get my messages through, delivered, and avoid the email spam filters. So, avoiding email spam filters. So you first need to understand how ISPs flag email as spam and stop it being delivered. So think of it as a scoring system. So depending on the indiscretion, shall we say, depending on how bad it is, then it would obviously get a higher or a lower score. So you could have a really big score through one specific thing and that would just block your email, or you could have lots of little ones. So let's just go through a few of those and just explain how they work. So the first point, I guess, with email spam is just don't spam people. I mean, it sounds really obvious, but if people don't know you and they haven't willingly given you their email address, you shouldn't really be emailing them. Apart from the legal implications of that kind of activity, it's just bad marketing. So, if you email a whole bunch of people that have never heard of you and don't want anything to do with your business, then you're going to get lots of spam complaints, which is one of the factors that's going to stop your emails getting delivered to people who do want to hear from you. So that's kind of rule number one. Just don't spam people. Just use email addresses. Be very careful with them. You could do your brand a hell of a lot of damage anyway, even if your emails get through. So the second one is, and I see this quite often, is it's really tempting to send an email to yourself and use the BCC field, the blind copy field, to populate that with a big list of people as a distribution list so that you can broadcast straight from Microsoft Outlook or Google Mail or wherever you're hosting your email. This is going to get flagged by ISPs and that will stop your messages getting through. The same would apply if you use the CC field or the to field and just put a big broadcast list on there. That's going to certainly raise some flags and increase your spam score. If you're going to do email broadcasts, spend a little bit of money. It doesn't cost much, but use one of the tools. There's tons of them available. MailChimp is the one that I tend to prefer, but lots of them out there that do a great job for a few dollars a month. I mean, it doesn't cost much. So the second one is, or the third one is, just avoid using certain terms in your email, and particularly in the subject line. So things like sale or buy now or win, words like that are typically used by spammers and in kind of phishing attacks and this kind of stuff. So just be really careful about the types of words. This is one of those where it's not necessarily the case that all of your emails will be blocked. None of them will get through if you use the word sale in the subject line, but it's certainly going to increase that score and could be the thing that comes together with a load of other scores to push you over that limit and unblock your email. Using a high percentage of image content in your emails could also, that could be a big one actually. It's quite a big flag, this one. You'll score very highly. So if you've got a nice beautiful image of the product that you're promoting and very little text, that's going to score really high on spam filters. So make sure you've got a good balance of text content and image content in your emails. You will find that most of the email marketing platforms, Aweber, Constant Contact, MailChimp, those guys, will flag the email or put a setting on those email broadcasts that it is bulk email. That's a message to the ISP saying, look, it's not spam, it is bulk email, it is supposed to be lots of duplicates of the same message, so treat it as such. That's not saying to the ISP, hey, flag this and don't send any of it. That's saying, look, we're doing this, it's on purpose, please let the email through, effectively. So that's kind of the simple stuff. The other more technical side of things is, depending on where you host your email and how if you're using Gmail or something like that, then fine. But you can, with your web hosting, have your email hosted. Now, if you are on a shared server, on shared hosting, then it's possible that someone else who's sharing that hosting could get that server blacklisted or flagged for email spam. That's going to affect your ability to send email as well. So you're going to be judged, you're going down with that ship, basically. So if someone else is using that same server and they're engaging in these kind of slightly dubious activities with their email, they're going to get the same issue. This is why MailChimp, for example, won't let you use bought lists, because their server is their service. That's their whole business. If they get flagged for spam and their server is disallowed by all the ISPs, they've got nothing to sell their customers. So, you know, in the same way, if you're using just normal hosted email, you could have a problem caused by some other user on that server. So again, that's something that could just block your emails going through as well. Whilst we're on the subject of servers, I had this just recently with a client. Their developer had installed an extension for their website, and that had opened up access to the SMTP service on that server. SMTP is the protocol, the program, if you like, where email is sent from a server. And effectively what this plugin was doing, or this kind of gateway that was opened up, is it allowed a third party to send email from their server using their SMTP service, and the ISPs picked up thousands and thousands and thousands of spam messages and then blacklisted the server. So, you know, it's not just email services. You need to be careful with plugins and extensions for your website. Just be really careful about those to make sure you're not opening your server up to activity like this and piggybacking on your service. So if you're using something like MailChimp or any of those platforms, you will find, I know through history with MailChimp, their complaint rate is like 0.1%, so 1 in 1,000. But you'll get warnings. So if you start getting spam complaints, if users are actually saying, I didn't ask for this message, and they're saying this is spam, you will only have a number of lives effectively before MailChimp says, we don't want you on our service, and they'll just kick you off the service. So you know, that's obviously with the kind of hosted email, as I said before. So Giles, I hope that helps you, and I hope it helps you guys just do a bit better with your email marketing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more digital marketing tips on email and AdWords and SEO and social and all that stuff. And if you have questions, ask in the comments, and I'll try and cover them in a future show. Have a great day.